So, okay, what do you want to start with?
Let's start on the landlord side.
Landlord side?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So helping a landlord rent a property is something that we've been doing for years, but we're doing it quite a lot this year, especially since we had a lot of investors close on their properties. So we're helping them find tenants. And it's pretty much, it makes your life a lot easier because we know what to look for when it comes to getting a good tenant, and we do a lot of screening when it comes to that.
Yeah. So my biggest thing right now, landlords typically look for A++ tenants, and what that looks like to you is, I'm sorry to say it, guys, but you got to be on top of your credit score. There's also a standard Ontario rental application. They're going to want job references, sometimes employment letter references, what you do for work. Really, we're going to dig into your history, who you previously rented from.
And that's a big one. Like when we're looking for a property, we're basically doing an in-depth search that you as a homeowner, you're just getting this property. You've never had a tenant before. You don't really know what to look for when you're leasing your property out. And as Brandy mentioned, we really do like to try and sort out those AAA tenants, which, is becoming more mandatory these days just because the rental market is on fire. Like, I think the average rental price was up 20-something% since last year for the average rental in Hamilton. So there's a lot of competition for it. We have had bids on properties, but definitely you want to get that credit score. And it's all also relative to the property. Like, I know you recently did a lease that was on the lower end of the rentals, right? Like the price point was cheap. It was around the $1,200-1,300 mark.
$1,250, yeah.
So obviously, you're not going to get a AAA tenant in that one.
I did. I actually did get a AAA tenant. It totally depends on what the landlord's looking for. At this point, she was more willing to wait out time, and it allowed me to kind of search for that. But if you want to get someone in there quicker.
And then I don't know, should we break down what we expect from a AAA tenant?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. I know you mentioned already the credit score. Credit score is one of the biggest things. I know a lot of landlords like to see over 700 credit score because that really shows that you do pay your bills. Generally, when you look at the income of the potential tenant, I know a landlord would like to see around 35 to 40%. Like the monthly rent shouldn't exceed 35 to 40% of your, total income for that month. And as well, job stability is a big one.
Yeah, I had to get plenty of employment references. So,
and then we check into those references.
Yeah,
too.
we do. We actually do.
Yeah, we don't just get, I worked here, worked that. We'll actually call them just to verify,
For one tenant, I had to call on previous landlords because he just moved to the province and didn't have the job reference at the time. So we find other ways to dig. Just make sure you have all your ducks in line, and we can kind of streamline the process for you.
Of course. And then because we do so many of these leases, we are so familiar with the paperwork and what's expected in them, what clauses we can put in, what we can't put in. So we take care of all of that for you just to make the process as simple as possible. Knowing what, because there are certain things you can't put in a lease, like it's actually illegal. So we know that stuff too. But we want to make sure that it's written well and take that sort of off your shoulders to make it happen.
Yeah, I think another really good thing that I thought about recently is if I'm helping out a landlord, I'm also doing a buyer rep on the tenants that I personally bring. So it's kind of like that double cross your T's. I'm responsible on both sides. I'm making sure that I'm holding that guy accountable that's coming through your place.
Absolutely. And then we take care of collecting all the deposits, goes into the trust account for Remax, so it's held in a safe place that'll get released to you when the tenant moves in. So those are just some of the ways that we make it simpler if you're a landlord looking for a tenant. Actually, we got Corey in the studio. I know you're thinking a rental property. What would you want to know that we can help you with as a landlord, or do we cover pretty much everything?
What's some big things that people don't realize they can't put in a lease?
One of the biggest ones is actually the no pets one.
Yeah.
That's actually something that you can't
Smoking's
put in a
pretty
lease.
standard, but I've actually had a hard time with pets because a lot of people, especially single people, have a cat or a...
If you're single, don't get a cat.
Been there.
True,
I've
lots
been
of
there.
Pets, right?
Yeah.
And I do find it's good. We try to get that information. Like, even sometimes now we don't put no pets on the thing anymore because we can't, but rather it's good because then if they do have a pet, like they might have a small dog or a small pet that the landlord might end up being okay with.
It can be really person dependent, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? I guess that, pretty much the biggest one.
Yeah.
Good.
Basically. Just what
Yeah.
popped in my head. I'm like, what are some misconceptions, right?
Yeah, that's a
That could be
good.
probably a whole other video though.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I guess we'll talk about how should we talk about how we get paid or do that as a third structure?
We'll do that at the end.
Do that at the end? Okay. Stay tuned for the full episode to find out how we get paid.
There you go.
Anyways, you guys got comments about being a landlord, renting out your property, anything like that, be sure to drop a comment below and we'll answer it as soon as we can.
Taking down.